Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be talking about some Rekkles rumors, news, speculation, that type of stuff. It should be pretty interesting, should be a pretty good discussion, so I'm definitely excited to get into this one. Off season, it's heating up. This is my favorite time of the year, the best time of the year. But before we get into that, make sure you guys check out the first link in the description below. I would appreciate a ton. Twitch.tv/I_am_Germ. Obviously, that's my Twitch channel. I'm planning on streaming, giving you guys tons of content over there. I'm really excited to start growing that community, so check it out. Drop a follow, maybe a prime. With that being said, let's get right into this. So Rekkles, obviously there was a point in time in my channel probably about a month ago, maybe like 3 weeks ago, when it seemed like we were talking about Rekkles every single day. There was a new rumor all the time. He's leaving G2, he's staying on G2, he's going to this team, he's going to that team, TSM, Vitality, blah blah blah, you know, all this stuff all over the place. But recently the rumors have, you know, started slowing down for Rekkles a little bit. We did get the official announcement from Carlos that Rekkles is not going to be returning to G2. We've heard that his buyout is very, very high, which obviously prices out a lot of teams. We've heard maybe he wants to go to TSM, maybe he wants to go to NA, maybe he doesn't want to go to TSM, maybe he doesn't want to go to NA. But we did get that tweet from Wooloo not too long ago, you know, the puzzle tweet, all that stuff, where Vitality had the stonks, you know, the stonks guy meme, and everyone, at first, most of the people I were talking to were just like, oh, the stonks thing just means that, oh, Vitality's making some good moves. You know, they're moving up in the world. Vitality stonks are running high. But obviously, the internet detectives, there's a huge League of Legends community worldwide, started digging into it deeper, and it seems like the stonks thing actually comes from this, which is a video that G2 posted, I believe, right before the spring split started, where I guess if we click on this, we can actually see it a little bit bigger, hopefully, at 130-ish. Where we see Rekkles, you know, dressed up as a businessman. He's typing away at his computer. Once we get there, it's going to take a second, I guess. I thought I just had it at 136. Maybe it's a little bit further forward. Okay, yeah, here we go. We have Rekkles, you know, in his business attire, sitting at his desk. And it says stonks in the background. It says stonk life. We have a, you know, graph, stock trading, all this stuff. So people are starting to think that that is at least Wooloo hinting at Vitality Rekkles being the most likely or logical candidate at this point. And honestly, that's kind of the conclusion that a lot of people are going to, because if you start looking around the league, there is a lot of talented AD carries in Europe. There's not a ton in NA. So again, if Rekkles wants to come to NA, there's a ton of teams that would have him. TSM, TL, Cloud9, I'm sure would all be interested in the Rekkles sweepstakes. But again, if he doesn't want to come over for whatever reason, whether he doesn't want to leave Europe, he doesn't want to leave his friends and family, he thinks Europe gives him a better chance of succeeding internationally or whatever, you know, he doesn't want or need the money or whatever the reason may be. Maybe he hasn't got the right offer, maybe he doesn't have the right situation, or maybe a really good offer situation does come up in Europe. If he wants to stay in Europe, the AD carry market is much more competitive, especially when you don't expect him to go back to Fnatic. They have Upset and Hylissang. You know he's not coming back to G2. You know that Carzzy is on the market. You also know that Hans Sama is on the market. So, you know, one of Carzzy and Hans Sama is most likely going to end up at G2. You know, if Carzzy leaves, then Mad Lions is going to need an AD carry. Maybe Mad Lions ends up getting Hans Sama. Maybe Mad Lions just calls up Flockhead. You know, we know that they are very, very high on him. We know they like him. You know, maybe one of Carzzy or Rekkles ends up going to Rogue, but heard that, you know, Rogue probably doesn't have a ton of money, and you know, who knows exactly what they're going to be able to do. Obviously, after selling off Hans Sama, they're going to have a decent chunk of change, but we've heard the buyout is very, very crazy for Rekkles at this point. So it just seems like this big game of musical chairs where eventually there's not going to be enough seats left for everybody. But Vitality is a team that really, at this point, you know, Crownshot is a free agent. They have an open AD carry position. We know that the Team Vitality, you know, super team memes are always going to be there. But for whatever reason, it seems to never come to fruition. It seems to never come to reality. So, you know, is Rekkles going to go to a team of self-made leader Segenda and whoever their support ends up being? I don't know. I don't see that. I could see Rekkles going there if they are able to get some cracked solo laners, if they're able to go, you know, get like an Alfari who's potentially on the market, if they're able to go get a Perks who's potentially on the market. But there is also a lot of talk going around how Perks, you know, probably wouldn't want to play with Rekkles. I have definitely seen clips before of Perks being a little critical of Rekkles or maybe memeing on Rekkles a little bit. And we know that Perks and Jankos obviously see eye to eye. They have a very, very similar view of the game. They've been teammates for a long time. They really like playing with each other. They had great synergy and all that stuff. And we're hearing that Jankos, had some differences with Rekkles. So I'm assuming that whatever issues that Rekkles and Jankos had would be very, very similar issues to the same issues that Perks and Rekkles would have while being on the same team. So, again, that kind of just eliminates another big name potentially going to Vitality. Now, obviously, people are going to throw around like Bjergsen. People are going to throw around like Power of Evil. There are still some other options for Vitality to potentially go out and get somebody. And they have a nice core. Having Labrov, having Selfmade, that is good. But again, Rekkles is a big name. And we know that Rekkles wants to win. He keeps saying he's going to try and win Worlds. This is my goal and I will, all that stuff. He's gotten so close. He's made it all the way to the World Final. He's won domestic titles. He's rich. He's famous. He's all this stuff. But he's not a World Champion. He's not an MSI champion. I don't think Segenda and Leader are going to lead him to a World Championship. So I don't really know if I see him going to Vitality. But again, at the end of the day, it's not entirely his choice because he's going to need to play somewhere next year, and a lot of the teams are kind of filling up, especially with 80 carry talent. There was this clip from Cadril that I did want to show and talk about because he, kind of gives his thoughts and opinions on the Rekkles situation as we are, maybe not today, but within the last couple of days, an updated opinion on the whole Rekkles situation.
I think Rekkles Kaiser is a good bot lane. With Rekkles, it's not going to be in EU, I think. I think that guy's going to NA. I think Rekkles is going to NA, boys. Where can he go in EU? Unless he wants to join a lower tier team. Vitality? Vitality is the only team, I think, yeah. Vitality is the only team. I guess Vitality is the only team he could join. Depends what its aspirations are, but yeah.
So obviously that's Cadril's opinion, a guy who is very, very connected in the LEC, knows the teams, the rosters, the players, the situations all very, very well. And he's saying something very similar to what I said, that in this game of musical chairs, there is not a whole lot of spots left for Rekkles to go. There's not a lot of teams with the money to buy out Rekkles that also have a roster that would be, something that Rekkles would most likely be interested in, which again leads him to saying maybe he's going to NA, but when he starts to think about it, yes, Vitality would open up. So Wooloo seems to be hinting at Vitality. More and more people seem to be pointing towards that Rekkles Vitality direction, which again, I do think makes Vitality Perks less likely. So maybe that's still up in the air. Maybe, that could change because maybe Vitality could decide, hey, if we can get Perks and Alfari, we'd rather have them than Rekkles or whatever. But yeah, this is kind of heating up. This is, turning into a very, very interesting series. Obviously, we've talked about Rekkles a ton. He's a popular player, huge brand, huge name. Some people have been critical about how he's played the last couple of years. Some people think, he's the reason why G2 sucked or whatever. But he's still a very, very good player. I think he's coming off a very good season. I think he's really going to help whatever team he goes to. I'm still hoping that he comes to North America. I'd still love to have him on TSM. But all of a sudden, it's starting to look more and more likely that we could be getting Vitality Rekkles in 2022. But that's just the latest up-to-date information. Again, we are still a couple weeks out of free agency officially starting. But the rumors, the speculation, the predictions, all that stuff, it's going to be heating up. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Vitality Rekkles? Good idea, bad idea, or where do you see him going? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!